I'm going to focus in this 10 minutes. These are the key things. So if you're paying attention into this 10 minutes, you will learn what is the employee experience. So some research work has been done with 250 companies who are doing really good work in terms of employee experience and who are not doing a good employee experience too. And what are the key things they're really struggling right now in terms of developing good employee experience. And then I'm also going to focus a little bit about how it can drain money from your company if you don't really focus about employee experience. I'm not going to go very vague. I'm going to be very number oriented in my talk. So let's pay attention. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and comment below. I would love to answer you. And the participants who are already here, please put your questions in your side. We will answer it during the panel discussion as well too. After working like last 15 years in IT field, this is what I realized. What is IT? Yeah. Sure. Thank you. So let's give a big hand to these student leaders to bring the training to you. Why don't you give them a big hand to them? Now let's talk about this, employee experience. Let's go straight to the point. The point is this one. If you're thinking about employee experience, so common phenomenon about employee experience is about lunch, bean bags. It's also about bring your own devices, work from home. Those are great. Those are like bits and bytes, but those are absolutely wrong just to create an employee experience. Why, right? The question is coming. Why? Why is that? I'm coming into it. Stick around. So the second thing is about another common wrong misconception about employee experience is about, oh, it's a job of the HR. HR department should take care of that one. No, we're all good. HR should do everything. That's another big one. The second one is about the game of finite. Now we are so much into this finite mindset. It's about we want to beat other people to win our own game. We want to be the best. We want to be the number one. These are the common symptoms of the industry. Why they have the leaders has a finite mindset. So they are all focused about intensity being rather than consistency, because they focus about let's do a thing. So what do they do? Most of the companies, even leadership training program is about they take them out for one day, do a one day training, 1 year, and then you are a leader, you are a manager. It doesn't really work because it's very much about finite mindset. It should be a part of the culture. And then the culture also I already mentioned about. So a lot of organization has a type of cultures which is defined by the top leaders, CEOs or the directors of the companies, and the way they interact, the way they live their life inside the company, that set the tone of the culture as well too. So which actually bring the employee experience as well too. So with this one, what is actually the employee experience then? What is actually employee experience? The employee experience very much depends on this one. A relationship between the company and the employee. How the relationship goes. Think about if you are a man, you're dating a girl. You're a girl, you're dating a man. How the relationship going on that will set the tone of your relationship with that particular man or girl. The same, the relationship between companies and the employees is set up the whole employee experience as well too. The beanbags, free lunches, offsite tour, free freebies, all kind of things are great, but those are like bits of bytes. Why it's wrong? I'm coming into it shortly. Stick around. I'm coming into it. So all these companies like Google, Apple, and Intel, even in RMIT University, I had a fortunate to work for RMIT for 5 years as the head of transformation projects. So I know that how it's really works. So these companies have built this great customer or employee experience. What are the key things they're really doing so that it really happens a great employee experience? What is that? So let me share with you. So to understand that interesting part, you need to pay attention a little more about in this part of my presentation. So I'm going to go this. So in this whole thing of employee experience, work on 3 different other things. So number 1 is employee experience, drive the engagement, and then return of investment. So right now, we are living 2021, which is like an amazing time, right? We are like an amazing time we're living here in this era where we spend most amount of money compared to any time ever in terms of employee experience. Or we're calling it employee experience, but actually we're spending money here in the engagement. We're trying to take the company people to the offsite trip, annual company trip, team dinner, happy hours, and we're expecting a return of investment. And we're ignoring more the core principle of employee experience, which should be starting by researching the company's goals, leaderships, peoples, and so on. And this is one of the key part missing. And we're going to deep dive more on this one in the panel discussion as well too. So stick around, that will be an exciting part. So this engagement part will never drive a return of investment if you don't have the right employee experience principle you set it up for your company. You keep draining a lot of money, you do not drive any return of investment. And this has become a style of the companies. They're investing a lot of money in engagement, trying to create an engagement without having the right principle of employee experience, which should be coming from the research, POC, planning, testing, and finally execution, and then continuation. So employee experience, how to invest it. What are the key things we should start about in investment to get a really good return on investment? So I want to give you this example. We can buy something like a tangible product. We get a phone, very exciting feeling. And when you buy a phone, let's say you got a great Samsung 20 Notes or you got an iPhone, you get a really good experience. But overall, in the beginning, you have a high experience on that one. And then over time, you're going to lose your experience. You feel like, it's all right. In the beginning, yeah, it will be high up. Some like you just got a new phone, your colleague coming, oh my God, you got a cool phone over there. And you feel like, oh yes, I got a great phone. Your friends getting impressed, oh, you got a great phone. I love that one. And you feel great. So that's the fluctuator. But after like a few months or later, yeah, like me, I got an iPhone 1 month ago. I was so excited about it. And then a few months later, I'm just fine. It's just a phone. But there's a physical and intangible experience is two different things. And that's called this. When you invest on the employee experience, which is an intangible, you cannot touch it, over time, it's going to grow up more and bring more backs to your company. So that's why the investment is so crucial. And the principle of setting up the investment and doing the right tones from the beginning is so much important, because if you don't do the right investment, you'll not create to do this one. And if you really do this one, and then you're going to go over and multiply the customer or employee experience. I mean, when you have a company, I'm just keep talking this word, this customer, because when you have a company, your primary customers are your employees. And then you have to really buy your product. Because without the employees, you have nothing to produce. That's the point. So now I want to share with you, there was a research has been done with the future of work, who done a research around 250 companies around South Asia and in European countries as well too. And what they find out is this is very exciting. They find out that 6% companies are doing an amazing work when it comes to employee experience. Now, they are like Google, they're like Intel, they're like all the logos I have showed you in previous slides. And then, this part is very crucial. 20% of the companies are doing nothing in terms of employee experience. Nothing. They're absolutely ignoring it. And then we have 50% of the companies that are doing that little of effort of employee experience. And then this is the exciting one. 23% of the companies are doing good work when it comes to employee experience, and they are going to make a lot of difference. So these are the things, right? They're doing all these things. So I said those are great. I mean, have a return of investment. And John, you told us that you're going to be talking about return of investment. I invest in employee experience. What am I going to get back as a CEO or investor of the company? So let's talk business. Let's talk about the money. So I'm going to talk about the two things, intangible and tangible. Let's talk about the first intangible. The intangible, this one, the research shows, and if you look at those 6% of the companies, and this 29% of the companies, if the company has the criteria of great employee experience, they tends to show much more time, almost like 4 to 40 times more to the other success criteria of the business. The best place to work with, great top revenue making company, great place to participate with, different HR award, different and best growing company, more amazing company, all those criteria they have been showing on, and they are showing like 4 to 40 times. So that means it's multiplying you to other spectrum to bring you a return of investment as well too. Okay, that's the intangible part. Now let's talk about straight tangible part right now. So I'm going to talk about the business matrix right now. So that is the tangible part. So business matrix is this one. The research shows that for the future work, if you invest, if you have a good employee experience, that those 29% of company has a 40% lower turnover compared to their country's average turnover. They are 24% smaller compared to their competitor. So that means they are making more money by spending less. They are spending 25% less because they're smaller. So they are highly productive. So this one, they are 25% more productive. They're producing more value for their company. And straight to the point is the stock price. So these companies, stock price is 40 to 90% higher compared to their competitor who are not in this criteria of their 29% of their economy in their country as well too. So you can see this one. They are saving money by having a lower turnover rate, and they are producing more values because of these two, because they are smaller and they're more productive. Let's talk more about the number. So I have a really short amount of time, so I'm not going to go all of it, but I'm going to go this one. 40% lower turnover. The turnover is one of the things a company burn money and don't really realize they're actually losing money. It's not about just only the changing the CEO or directors or managers, but it's all the people we're losing every day in a company and how they impact a cost of the company. That makes a huge difference. So now let's do this one. It shows very clearly that if an employee leaves the company, means it actually goes with a loss of 3 to 6 months of salary of that staff. Why? I'm going to explain to you in the next slide. So that salary means if your employee salary is 20 million a month, so it's almost going to be 180 million loss when an employee is leaving the company. How this happens? So John, I don't get it. I mean, why we've been losing for 6 to 9 months of salary? They're just gone. 1 month gone, done. No, actually it's not that, because in this one you have to manage this one. When somebody is leaving, the two things happen: offboarding and onboarding of the new staff to replace one. So when somebody is offboarding, basically the last month when they already have the notice period, they are significantly underperforming, and they're not moving to work because they've been cleaning, then doing handover. Handover has no values. I mean, directly. I mean, there's values for companies for the future, but it doesn't really produce any work. Secondly, the project gets slowed down. They're already in the mood. They already have a problem with other peers. The peers already know they are leaving, so they're not really working together closely. Team disorders, team really falling apart. Oh my God, the boss is leaving right now. So what is going to happen to us right now? They also get dominated. They go spend out time. They go coffee. They go beer. They talk about, oh, our boss is leaving right now. What is going to happen to us? So those are the things. And then the employee branding, which is another very big part. I mean, if you have a high turnover, you're never going to get a good employee branding. So this is another thing. And now onboarding. You're paying the headhunters to find the right people to replace that one. You pay probably 2 months of salary, gone. The probation period, the company, when you hire the great, even you find that superstar guy or girl for you, the replacement, it's going to cost them 2 months with under almost like 50% of the performance to bring back to you. And then the probation period, and the training, you spend more money to train them, which already you trained the previous employee. The offboarding employee already know the training program, and now you retrain again. So it's an overhead again. So how this calculates? So in this one, I'm going to show it to you how you're going to burn the money. So total headcount. I mean, if you have an employee so in Vietnam, an average in industry in Ho Chi Minh City, average turnover rate of the company is like 40%. So if you have like 50 employees and you have 40% of turnover, that means you're replacing almost 20 people. It's total costing you like 3.8 billion. If you have a little more, 100, 7.7 billion. A little more, you got 500 people, 38 billion. If you have a little more, 1,000 employees, you're spending 77 billion Vietnam dong, just burning you out. So now, this matrix shows that how it's burning you based on this 6 criteria. I'm happy to do more discussions how this calculation comes in, but you may say that okay, how about the CEOs? Yeah, I mean, if they want CEO leaving, I mean, you're paying for the housing and packaging and a lot of other things happens. We took the number, an average of 20 million salary only to do this calculation, but real number could be or something close to it. So now, what we got to support you on this one? This is the thing I want to share with you. What we got to support you on this one? Have you got something? So here we have the people empowerment from VSHR Pro Academy who can work with you to help you to establish the right cultures. We have a lot of expert on that one to help you to build the right cultures for your team, for your company, so you can create the right company or employee experience for your team. And the second thing is this thing depends with a lot of senior people, subscription-based, training-oriented, and culture, and very affordable. It's not expensive at all. So with this one, these are the numbers. You see this one, like LinkedIn, Google, Intel, they're here. So these are the secret, right? You want to bring your company, your team to someone here, or at least to here. Or you should not be here. Probably you're here in this workshop means you're probably already trying something here, somewhere here already, or you were trying to. And then if you do the right actions right now, you could be here, and you could significantly impact your return of investment of your company. So to get more details about the program, which I just mentioned about people empowerment, you can talk to Miss Lei. She's around here. She's the director of the Pro Academy, and she can help you to give you more develops and more description of the program. You can reach her to Leitron at healthrevolution.org. And yes, for me, you can always reach to me as well, to John Masud Parvez, my email and my details, and all social media platforms. I'm available. You can easily find me. And we're happy to have more discussions. And with this one, I'm going to wrap up my keynotes, my teaser trailer. Thank you very much for being here today. Thank you very much.